so here we are. We have so far installed React Navigation. We used React Navigation for Expo, and right now we made a basic boilerplate of our code. So we made 3 input fields, and we put our button, and we put it in the space between style. So this is what we have done so far, right? So what I want to do is I want to make a username, password, and once you click on submit, it should go to the next screen. Simple. That's our first step. So to do that, what we're gonna do is simple. I'll be doing it again. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this thing. I'm gonna remove everything. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna remove everything. Let's start from scratch. So let's start from scratch. So here right now I'm gonna show you how to do like create a first sign-in screen. So first I need to make sure that I have my extensions installed, and I'm gonna use some snippets. So I'm gonna go to extensions. I'm gonna click on React. So right
I
now,
thought so.
sorry, I have some React snippets here, and the things that I've installed here is this one, ES7 React snippet. So I went to React snippets, I went here, and I went on here, and I installed this one. So as soon as I install this one, what do I get? Is I can get React native snippets, which will be RNFCE. So which means React native functional. So as you can see, I can see my snippet, what it'll look like. So this is a boilerplate. So I'm gonna do this. So as soon as I do that, I have a boilerplate of React app, right? So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test and see if it's working. So I'm gonna write hello. I save. I go back to my code. I save here. Go back to my code. I see hello here. All right, so that's good. So right now, what I want to do is I want to center this one. I've already showed you. So the way to center this one, I'm gonna go to styles. I'm gonna write in style. So I'm gonna write style, and I'll write here flex 1. If I do flex 1, it'll take 100% of the screen, and I'm gonna do justify content center, and I'll do align item center. So as soon as I do that, as you see, my entire thing will be in the center. So as you see, right, center of my screen. So what I want here is I want 2 input field and a button. So how do I do that? So I remove my text from here, and I'm gonna add input field. So text field. So I'm gonna write text input. Was it text input? Yeah, it was text input. So text input, import. So you see the auto import is imported automatically as I type. So I'm gonna do that, and here I'm gonna see the properties. So I can do control space, and I can write title, and see I have a title here. So I don't think I have a title here. I think that's a mistake. So it should be control space, and I see a placeholder. So you see placeholder here. I click on that, and I'm gonna write here it's a username. So it should be username. Okay, so this is the first input field. I'll have 2 input field like this. So copy this one, and I'll put here another one. This will be password. So we have done this, and this will be passwords. As if we do it right, we have a text field and a password. Good. We have 2 input field, right? That's good. So now we need a button. So if you want to do a button, you write a button like this. And once you write a button, you need to import this as usual. Control space and import. Button is import. Nice. And I do that, I get an error, which means I have to see what is the error. It says I'm missing a title. Okay, so I write a title here, and the title will be login. It gives me auto suggestion. I'm using Kite, so it's using auto suggestion. So if you want to install Kite, you can go to the extension, and you can install Kite. It gives you auto suggestion, right? Or you can use something like tab 9. So I would suggest you use tab 9. So it's a good autocomplete. So whenever you're writing, I get auto suggestion because of tab 9. Yeah, so use this one to make your life easier. Okay, so here we are. So I import this one, my button is imported. I still get an error. What is the error? It says on press is missing. Okay, so I go here and write on press. I write here on press. Okay, so on press, what does it take? What is the type of on press? Type of on press is this one. So I copy the type of on press from here, as we have done this. So we paste this one. So now it cannot be void and to be an object. And I'm gonna import this. Control space again, import this. Control space, import. Done. Saved. Okay, great. So right now, so far I have, when I close this, so I have that button, and I want to test if the button is working. So I'm gonna do an alert. Now let's see, hello. Okay, cool. So if I have a button here, and if I click on the button, I should get an alert. Great, it's working. So right now, there's one problem. The button is weird. It is centered in this side. So we want the button to be, we want to have some spacing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some view. So I'm gonna add some view here, and let me do the view. Okay. So I will wrap everything in a view. So I'm making a component. Okay. So I have one component here, one component, and that's wrapped in a view. I need another one. So we have 3. Okay, good. So right now we have 3. All right. So if I see, I just have the same thing, nothing changed. Great. So right now I want to give some spacing and padding. So as I'm using flex, what I can do is I can give here a wrapper, like another. So I want to give another, like a wrapper that it will take like 500 pixel, the maximum amount. So I can give another parent of this, like this. So I can do another parent of the entire container, like entire input field. You see? So I have the input field, a parent of the input field. So what I can do, I can define the size of the entire size of the input field. So I can give a maximum size. So what I can do is that the size of my input field will be, height will be, say, like this height will be 300 pixel, or 300, I would say. Okay, so if I do 300, so the height of this one is 300. I think that's too much, so I use 200. Okay, so I use 200 here, and it changed to smaller one. Good. So now what I want is, like, I want some spacing here, as we have done. So we can do a flex here. So I can define this one as flex 1. So I want this one to be flex 1. Okay, and I write another style in my button. Okay, so I'm gonna go here in the button style, and I write here flex, another flex 1. So what's happening here is that we have a flex 1. So we have a flex 1 container that's 100% of my screen, and then we have half of my screen is taking flex 1. Another half of my screen is taking flex 1. So it's gonna be half and half. But this half of this, so I don't need this height here then, because as I'm already defining half of my screen. So if I do height here, it doesn't make sense. So it should be half of my screen is username and password, this container. So I can verify that is it taking half or not. Let's see. So I can do border width, and I can put 2 here, and I can do border color, and I can put red here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this one. I just want to verify that if it's true. I want to put it red, and I put it here blue. Let's see. So if I do that, I can see that, you see, it's exactly half of the screen, right? So it's taking half of the screen. So what I want to do, I want to make this one centered here. I want to make this one, this is fine for me. So I just want to put this one in the center. So as what I can do here is I can do align items, but I can do justify content. So it's already centered by align items in the top, so it's fine. So if I do align item center, you see it's coming here. That's good. But right now what I want is I want some space between this, so, or space around this. So instead of center, I can do is space around. So whenever I write space around, you're gonna see there's a space around. So it's gonna be equally spaced. This side and this side is equally spaced, and there's like space around this. So this is like taking half of this, and this is taking half of this. Like space, there's a space around the entire thing. So this is more equally spaced. So what I want is our input field to look more like there should be a border for our input field, so it looks nice, so we know where to click. So we do border width. I'm gonna do border width. I can do border width 1, and I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna put it here. Okay, so we have two input fields here, as you see, with two spacing, but it might be too much spacing because it's spaced around this. I wrote space around this one, right? But what I want is, like, I want space evenly. I don't want space around. Doesn't look good to me. So I'm gonna do space evenly. So if I do space evenly, you see they're equally spaced now, right? So what I'm gonna do right now is, if I click on the next page, so I want to store this state, and if I click on submit, it should ask me that, hey, I have the right username and password. So I want to store this username and password. So let me store it here. So how to store it here? So I'm going to do on change. So I'll do on change text. So I'll write on change text, and I'm going to do on change text. Same thing. What we can do, easier way to do it, hover your mouse, and I see what it takes. I see it takes a text. I copy this one and I put it here. I remove the void and I use object. Simple. And now what I can do, so I have this one. So I need to store this somewhere, right, as a variable. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna store it in a state. So I'm gonna write a state. I'm gonna define a state here. So state here. So I will write the username here and set username. Okay, and here I'm gonna use react.useState. Okay, so here what's happening here, this is the current state, and this is the set. This is a user to, this is the function to set the state, and here I have the default state. So by default I have a string, which means there's nothing inside the string. So what I can do, I can put another one for password. So I can do a password, and I can do set password. Okay, so my password is default nothing. So what I can do here is I'm gonna have to connect this one. I'm gonna have to do set username, and I will set the string that I'm getting from here, text. I'll connect this one. Okay, great. So we have the text coming from the input field, right? And we have this one stored in the username. So right now we want to store the same thing in a password. So we're gonna write on change text, and same thing, text string, right? And here we're gonna do the same thing. Right now we're gonna change this one to password. Okay, great. So we have username and password stored in our state. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a condition. I'm gonna come here in the alert and remove the alert. I can write here if I can use the new ES6. I can use username, right? I'm getting the username here, username and password. So I can do this, username and password equals to, so I'll write here username and password is equals to, for example, ORIN, or okay, question mark. So I can do this. So I can do is it if this is true. So if username and password, so username is okay, so username, if password is this, I'm gonna do this here. So if username is ORIN and password is password, if this is true, then I'm gonna execute this, or else I'm gonna execute this, right? So here I'm going to define what's gonna happen. So if username and is ORIN and this one, I'm gonna give an alert here, said you are logged in. Okay, Great. And now I'm gonna write here alert invalid user. Save. So if I save this, right, what's gonna happen if I use this one? If I enter ORIN and password, it'll tell me you're logged in, or else invalid. Let's try this and see if it's working. So I'll come here and the username and write here ORIN, and password will be password. And if I click on next, it says you are logged in. Great. If I write something else, enter, you're an invalid user. Great. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna remove my border for my views so it looks nicer. I'm gonna remove the border from my views here and the color. Okay, great. Okay, so far we got this, and I'm gonna have some navigation. So whenever you click on a button, it should go to a next screen. So I'm gonna have to install React Navigation. So to install React Navigation, I'm gonna go to Google and write React Navigation, and I have React Navigation, the first result. Click on that. As soon as I click on that, I will be in the React Navigation doc. I click on read doc, and I will have the React Navigation installation guide. As I'm using Expo for this project, I'll copy this one, the Expo. I'll go back to my terminal and I'll run this code. And I've already installed this already, so I'm not gonna run it again. What I'm gonna do is, if you successfully install it, how you can verify that it is installed, you can go to your package.json file, and then you come back, you come down, and you see that you have these four things here installed. Great. So once you fully install this, we're gonna add our React Navigation. So in order to do that, we're gonna follow the docs. We're gonna go back to the document, and we're gonna see hello navigation. So we're gonna go here and click on navigation, and then we're gonna first follow the steps, right? So we're gonna here, and right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we need to install this one, React Navigation, right? So we're gonna go back to our terminal. Let's see. Let me see if we have installed it or not. Okay, I don't think we have installed React Navigation stack. React Navigation. No, we haven't installed. So I'm gonna go back to my terminal and open this one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna install here. Okay, so I'm installing. So after I install this, I'll just follow the steps to do a navigation. Let's see. Okay. Let me see if it's installed. Okay, great. So it's installed. Nice. So we have installed our React Navigation here. Right now we're gonna run our project and see if it's working. So far it should be working. There should not be any problem. And let me go back to my code and see. Okay, we refresh. Okay, so it's still working. Good. Now I'm gonna do React Navigation. So here is the first step of our React Navigation configuration. So we need to have this format. So we're gonna follow. So we're gonna copy here. We're gonna go here. So I'm gonna make it easier. So I'm gonna create a folder here for that. So I'm gonna write here. I'm gonna create a folder. This should be this one. Not in here. My bad. So I'm gonna create a folder here. Okay, create a folder here. Okay, so I'll write this folder as navigation. Okay, so I'll write navigation. So all my pages will be stored here. Right, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna create a new file. And I'm gonna do index. Okay, I'm gonna here. Okay, let's see what's happening. I'm gonna click on this one and create a new file. Okay, navigation dot tsx. Okay, great. So we have a navigation file. Navigation, inside navigation I put a navigation, or I can write here, actually navigator better. Navigator sounds better. Okay, so I have a navigator file. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna put this one. I'm gonna copy this code. So I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna paste it here. But so I'm gonna write it here. So I'm gonna do a function here. So I'll write here constant like navigator equals to function navigation, right? So but because we are using ES6, I'm gonna use this, making it easier. And I'm gonna do import React. So we have React and this one here, done. So what I did here, I imported React to use TSX. I used navigator function. It's an arrow function, and I have written here navigation container. So I'm going to import this. I'll do control space. So I don't have this here. So where do I find this? Navigation container. To find navigation container, I need to go back here. I see. Here is a navigation container. So I come here, copy this one, I paste it here. So I see navigation container here. I don't have this installed. I copy this one. I go back here, install this. Whenever you get an error like this, so I'll do npm install. Whenever you get an error like this, it says, if you hover your mouse, it says module cannot find module, which means the module is not installed. So you come here, you install the module. Simple. So I'm just waiting while it's installing. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to my code and I'm gonna make a stack navigator. So I'll basically copy this code here for now. Copy this code, I'll put it here. Okay, great. So I have that. I'll put this code and I'll put it here. Okay, let's see. Great. So I have a view. It's not imported, so I'm just gonna copy everything from here and import the view. Okay, great. So we have everything imported. We have this one installed. Right now, go back and see. So it's giving me an error here. It's yelling, saying cannot find detail screen. Okay, let me come here. I need a detail screen. I don't have it here. So what I'm going to do for now is I will comment this out. Okay, I'm going to have a default screen now here. Okay, let me just do it here. So I'll just go write a function here. Okay, so I'll just follow the same thing. So what I'm going to do is the easier way to do it for now, for this demo, I'll copy this one, put it here, and I'll change this one. Hold on. I'll write this one, detail screen. I'm going to write this one here, detail screen. Done. So right now there's no error so far, everything's good. So here, as you see, what we have done, I'm going to recap. So we have imported React, and then we have done React Native. We have installed library React Navigation. We have also installed this one, right? So we have added two screens. So one screen is home screen, another one is detail screen. Great. So right now we have a stack navigator, and stack navigator is using create stack navigator. So we are creating a stack navigation. Our navigation will be in a stack, and inside the so right now the stack navigator, when a navigation container, in the navigation container we have defined the navigation route. The initial route will be home, This home is this in the stack navigation. The first one in our stack is home. The component for home is home screen, so which is here, right? So I'm getting this screen and connecting it in the stack navigation. Same thing with details. So right now what I wanted to do, so this thing, if I hover my mouse, it says navigation is declared, but it's not never been used, because we need to export this one, and we need to export this one right now. So how do you export this one? So you can export this one two ways. One is like this, export, right? So we exported this one, which means now this navigator is global. So right now I can do, another way I can do is I can do export and do navigator. Okay, same thing. So I have export, export, it should be export default, sorry, constant to const, and it will be export default. Why export default? Because we're making it global, we're making a module. So this is how you make a module. So right now entire screen is a module. Like right now I don't need to worry about the name, but if we didn't do it like this, if we did like this, then we are just exporting this function. We're not making this screen a module. So right now we made this screen as a module and we named it React Navigator. Great. So I go back to my app.tsx and I come here. Alright, so what I can do, I'm gonna comment this out for now, whatever I've done, and I'm gonna put my navigator here. Okay, so I'll go here and I put my navigator here. Okay, I'm gonna import this one, and if I import, if everything's good, let's see. Okay, it's giving me an error. Let's see. What is the error? It says navigator cannot be used as a JSX. Its instance of a navigator is not valid JSX type. Okay, okay. Navigator is missing. Okay, so it's not a JSX, so we cannot use navigator like this. So if you're using navigation, then you cannot do it like this. What we can do here is we can copy the same thing as we did here and put it in our app for now. And once we do that, I'm gonna copy everything what we did here. Actually, I'm gonna copy the entire thing and put it here, same screen, and write app. Okay, so if I write app here and write app here, let's see. So basically I copied the entire thing here. I went to my app.tsx and I wrote app just to test. So I'm testing right now to see if the navigation is working or not. So I go back to my code. I see navigation here. I see home, right? So this is the home navigation. Okay, good. So inside the home, I should have a button. So what this task right now, what I am doing here is to see if I'm able to go from home to detail screen. So if I click on one button, it should go to detail screen. So this is a home screen and this is a detail screen. So I'm gonna have a button here. And then as I have a button here, I'll have a button title. And button title will be press submit, for example, and on press. So right now what I want is to press and navigate to detail screen. So follow here what I'm doing. So whenever I press this button here, it'll go to detail screen. So I'm gonna use navigation, right? So either there's two ways I can do. I can use props here. So I'm using props here. So as this home screen is inside my stack, So I can navigate from in any screen, from here to here or here to here, right? And all the screen, I can access this navigation using props. And it's giving me an error because I need to define a type. Can be any. So right now there's no type. So I use props. So if I want to do navigation, I can use props dot navigation dot navigate. Okay, so right now I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to a detail screen. The name of the detail screen I defined here. The name of the detail screen is the details. Let's copy this one. Go back to my navigator and write here details. Save. So if I click on that screen, the navigation should move to a detail screen. Let's try and see if it's working. Click on submit. Okay, great. I have a detail screen. I can go back, submit again, goes back to my detail screen. Good. Right. So I have this one set up already. Right. So I can do the same thing the way I did input field. So I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna go back to my. I'm gonna put input field here. So I will put this one. I'll save this one. I'm gonna go back to my code, previous one. Okay, so I have the input field here, right? And what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna press the button. So I will make this one. I'm gonna separate this one. So firstly, what I can do here is I can put this screen. I can separate this screen, so I can put this one in a component. I can make this one and put it in a different page. That'd be better. So I write here first screen. So I can define it here as a screen. I can write here sign in page dot tsx. Right. So if I have that, and where is that? Okay, that's good. Okay. So here in my sign-in page, I want to copy everything here, and I go to my sign-in page, right? So I copy everything from app.tsx and go to my sign-in page, and paste everything here. So as soon as I paste everything here, I'm going to change my name to sign-in. Sign-in page. Paste, copy this one, paste it here. Done. Great. So we have a sign-in page. Okay, let's make it capital. Okay, let's see. Great. So I made it capital. Okay, so right now I'm gonna import this one. Make it sign in. Okay, this is better. I'm gonna copy this one. I'll go back to my app.tsx. I'll remove everything that I have here, and I'll only put I'll put a navigator here. But for now, I'm gonna see if my sign-in is working. So I'm gonna paste my sign-in page. I'll import this and save. Done. So as soon as I paste this, I should say the same thing. Nothing changed. But my sign-in is coming from a different page. Great. So right now what we can do is I can copy. I can do this one for like I can copy that navigator here. So the navigator, it's here, and I will I'm gonna copy this one. So let's see. So I'll copy this navigator. Simple. Copy this navigator. Go back here. Go back to my app.tsx. And I'll paste it here. Simple. Okay, so as soon as I paste it here, actually I'm gonna paste the entire thing here. Okay, never mind. So I'm gonna go back to my app.tsx. I'm gonna copy and paste the entire thing again. I'll paste everything, and I'll just change the name to app. So I'll delete my home screen, and I will just have this one navigator, and I'll name to app for now. Okay, I don't know why it's capital. Okay, app. I'm having trouble with writing app. Okay, copy this one, paste it here. Okay, and right now it's giving me error because I removed my home screen. I'm gonna write my sign-in screen, sign-in page. So I wrote my sign-in page and I imported it automatically. Here, done. Right now, I have my sign-in page. I go to my sign-in page, and I'm gonna write another page here. So I'm gonna write here, like, dashboard, for example, .tsx. Okay, great. So I have a dashboard screen. So I go to my sign-in screen, and what I'm gonna do here is I will go to my navigator. I'll copy we can do snippets, rnfc rn React Native import snippet. Okay, so I have dashboard automatically. So I'm gonna write, oh, you are in dashboard. Great. So you're in dashboard now. If you come here, you're gonna see this message in the screen. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go back here to my navigator. Not navigator, I'm gonna remove my navigator for now. I don't need this because I have put the same code in my app.tsx, right? So I'll remove my detail screen from here. Okay, so if I remove my detail screen, what I have is dashboard. So I'll paste my dashboard and I'll import my dashboard here. So I have imported my dashboard from navigation. Great. So right now I have home screen. I'll remove that and make it sign in. Sign in. I'll make this one a dashboard. So look at the name very carefully. So I have sign in. My first page name is sign in. My second page name is dashboard. And then my initial route should start from sign in. Great. So right now I'm gonna go inside my sign in page, and if you're inside the page, what I'm gonna do is, as you see, there was an alert here, alert, you're logged in. I'm gonna navigate the user. So how do I navigate the user? As I already told you, you go here, you write props. So we write props here. So as giving, it's in TypeScript, we're gonna write props of the type of the props is any for now, and we're gonna go here and we can do props dot navigation dot navigate. Okay, and we're gonna do, after navigation, if you're successfully logged in, it'll navigate to dashboard. Okay, so far it should be good. And if you click on it, if you write the right password, it should take you to the dashboard, or else it should give you error. Let's try. So I'm gonna come here and write here ORIN, password is password, and I'm gonna click on login. If I click on login, you are in dashboard. Great. If I go back, and if I write something else, it should give me an error, invalid user. So that is how you make a sign-in page. That's a basic implementation. So I'm gonna stop here.